This is Scott Becker with the Becker Business and the Becker Private Equity Podcast. Today's discussion is index funds and game improvement clubs. And really the discussion is why these are the best things for myself, not for all investors, not for all golfers, but for myself, I should stick to index funds and I ought to stick to game improvement clubs. So here's the deal. Index funds are where you buy the entire index, typically through an index like VOO or one of the Fidelity ones, where you essentially buy the entire S&P 500 or whatever index you're investing in. And by buying the index fund, you own a little piece of every company in that index. So if you're buying the S&P 500 index fund, you know, a little bit of every company in that S&P 500 index. Game improvement clubs are clubs used in golf that are essentially a little bit bigger blade, a little bit easier to hit, bigger sweet spot, made for mid-handicap and high-handicap golfers who have a harder time hitting perfect golf swings all the time. So the concept is, for most of us, whether you're anything other than a great golfer, you probably ought to be using game improvement clubs. And similarly, other than those that could spend their entire life picking stocks and are very good at it, and very few people are, you ought to spend all your time using index funds versus trying to beat the market and pick individual stocks. Now for myself, I got a stark reminder of this lesson this past week when I looked at 4 of the stocks that I hold individually versus in index funds. Now the reality is most of my investing is in index funds and treasuries, so I don't feel that bad. But before the stocks that I hold that are each having a really tough year are Amazon, Microsoft, Palantir Technologies, and Astera Labs. Amazon's at about 14% this year. Microsoft also getting crushed. Palantir, after several good years, is really struggling. And Astera Labs is taking it on the chin. And this is my reminder that when I look at new golf clubs, stick to game improvement clubs, ones that make it easier to play. When I look at investing, stick to index funds, ones that leave less room for my own error and more room for margin because I'm just investing in the entire index. As things rotate, they move, et cetera, I'm still in good shape. That's my lesson for the day. Stick to index funds, stick to game improvement clubs. God bless you. Thank you for listening to the Becker Business and the Becker Private Equity Podcast. Thank you very, very much.